I'm live. Beautiful. All right. So today, what I wanted to jump into is I want to show all of you exactly how I've been able to save a tremendous amount of time and prevent myself from dropping balls, forgetting things, losing my place, forgetting to respond to things. In today's day and age, like we're getting inundated with messages from all over the place all the time. We've most people that I know that are founders have 2 to 3 different emails at a minimum. I have 9. They have WhatsApp where people are messaging them. They have text message where people are messaging them. They have Slack. Inside of Slack, they probably have 2 to 3 channels at a minimum, if not multiple Slacks that they're dealing with. And on top of that, you have all your other stuff, right? And as a founder, it can be incredibly difficult to remember all of these different things and to get everything to where it's actually like coming to you in a way that you can digest it and at the right time, right? So that you're not losing things, forgetting to follow up with people, not letting all these messages come in and like make you forced to respond to them right at that second. And so I've been leveraging a tool lately. For the longest time, the tool that most people thought would make this better for everybody and make it so that you could automate your entire life was something called OpenClaw or Hermes or all these agents that take a long time to set up and require you to essentially live in a terminal to set up. And I ended up coming across a company called Pally, and what they've done is basically made it so that now instead of having to go through all of this command line setup and everything that it would normally take to set up an agent, all you do with Pally is literally send a text message and it responds, connects you, sets up your whole agent, sets up any automation that you need. Everything is managed entirely through a text message with your agent. And you don't have to set up Telegram. You don't have to get it any API keys. You don't have to give it access to Claude or any of that nonsense. And it works incredibly well. And so I want to take a few minutes and actually show you some of the use cases here. One of the use cases that I can think of right off the bat is, in the past when I wanted to be able to share information with the team, like for instance, every Monday we would have essentially a spreadsheet that a young lady on our team would go through, put all the stuff together for the CPA, for all of our ads, all that stuff. She would take and put all this stuff into a spreadsheet. And it would take her about a half hour every week to put that spreadsheet together. And then in order to make sure that the whole team was updated and everybody had access to it, she would have to share it out, send it in an email and everything. And then she would also have to take some time on the call to actually go over it with everybody on the team. And then ultimately the point of this was to just basically let the business owner know, are we profitable or are we not profitable on our ads, right? And so all of that time and all that effort, everything going all over the place, when ultimately what they really want is just the result of, are our ads right now profitable or not? And if they're not, what do we need to do? And if they are, what do we need to do, right? So to give you an idea how much easier this can be with Pally, I wanted to kind of show you that once you have this set up, once you've sent the text message, you've set everything up, you can simply send it a text message and have it gather the information for you, right? Now, I've already built a dashboard for this inside of Airtable. So the way that I'm leveraging this now is, number one, we saved time by automating that process of creating the spreadsheet, right? So we cut out about a half an hour a week for Tracy, where she no longer has to go and create this spreadsheet. We created a simple automation that feeds everything into Airtable. And now, with having Pally connected to the Airtable MCP, all I need to do is ask Pally where we're at, or ideally I can even set up a task that's recurring with Pally where it just automatically messages me every Monday and tells me where we're at with our ads. Are our ads profitable or not? And this is all like stuff that we used to have to spend time in Claude doing. You used to have to go into Codex and even know what those things are. You don't have to know any of that anymore, which basically has made it so that now AI agents are available to the layperson. Willie, for instance, one of the members of our community, isn't super technical, doesn't know how to do all of this stuff. He was able to send a text message, which is all it really takes for you to set this up. So with that, I just want to show you guys kind of what this looks like, what it looks like inside of Pally. I'm live on Substack, but I also have the live call that we do every Friday called The Table, which is currently being streamed through Zoom. So at some point, I'll most likely pull up my screen and show that as well. But for now, I wanted to just take you guys in and actually show you what this looks like live inside of my text messages with Pally. And then, although you don't need to use the dashboard to actually set up Pally and to use it, if you do want to go into their dashboard, there's a lot more functionality inside of there, and I wanted to show that to you today. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and dive in and show you guys what this looks like. So this is just my text messages here. And so let me just shrink this down just a little bit. All right. So as you can see, like everything that I've said in here so far, in terms of like what I want it to do, any directives, I'm just texting it, right? So I wanted it to give me access to my dashboard. So I asked it to text me a link to my dashboard. It texts me that link, and I've opened that up right here. Okay. So to give you an idea of kind of how this works, hey, Pally, can you let me know what I have for meetings on my calendar today that I need to prepare for? Okay. I called her Patty. Whoops. I think she'll still respond, I hope. Hopefully she doesn't get too mad at me. Okay. And so what Pally will do is go access like all my calendars. Now, if there we go. If you've ever done anything like this with anything like OpenClaw or Hermes, you know that you have to go in and actually try to find something that allows you to connect all your different calendars. If you work with multiple businesses, all your different emails. Normally, that's a big pain in the ass to do. Pally makes this super simple. So I, for instance, have 9 different emails that I need to connect. I have a single point of failure, which is my calendar. So if anything is missing on my calendar, I live my life by my calendar. And so as you can see here, this is already recognizing that I've had multiple meetings for the day. We're on the table now. I have a weekly meeting coming up with the success team later today at 3. I have another client meeting coming up today at 4. And so I've got like, this is 4 businesses, different businesses, all feeding into a single calendar. And then also some different tasks that it's realizing that I didn't ask for, right? So this is incredibly intelligent, which is it's recognizing I'm also in discussions with Barn Door. I'm also in discussions with Email Bison. And it's letting me know that those already happened or were moved and asking if I want it to pull anything specific to prep for these meetings, right? So this is already huge. Another client, Phil, is leveraging Pally already. He used this, and there was a sales meeting that had been, or a sales prospect that had been removed from his text messages. He deleted it at some point. Pally was able to surface that, and he was able to recover that through using Pally. So I also want to show you really quick. So can you use the Airtable MCP for me? And I want you to double check on the GTM marketing base. Is that the only one that you have access to, or do you also have access to the CPA calculator for FlightPath? So the ability to connect a custom MCP to Pally is something that I literally just met with the founder on, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. And on that call, I told him that I thought it would be really cool if we could actually add more than just their built-in connectors. And I mentioned it to him that I would love to be able to connect any MCPs to it. And about 2 hours later, he texted me and told me he had already set it up to where that was possible. There were a couple initial kinks, and we worked all that out, and it's been working ever since. So Airtable, for instance, was not available in there previously, and now it looks like it is. So it's not limited to that. It's showing all my 22 bases. So yeah, I would love for you to pull up the CPA calculator and just let me know that it has run recently. And then let me know if there's any ads that are not profitable currently and what those are, right? So now what used to take an entire team to do and put together and everything before a meeting and then spend multiple minutes on a meeting going through, this founder can now just text Pally and give it access to its Airtable and then be able to find out any information that needs right in through here. And this is all managed not by API keys and all that nonsense, but by a very simple text message. So all you do is send this wonderful assistant your request. Hey, I want to connect to so-and-so, and it automates the process for you. So as you can see earlier, I asked it for access to my dashboard. I clicked a link, and this is what the dashboard looks like. By the way, anybody that wants to sign up for this, I will give you, number one, for limited access, it's entirely free for 3 things. So you don't even have to pay for this to be able to take advantage of it. But if you want to take advantage of free access on their pro plan, I'll give you guys a link to that here in just a few minutes, where you'll get a full month of it for free. They don't ever ask for a credit card or anything like that. There's no risk of you being charged. So there's literally no reason not to give it a shot. So look at just how easy this is to literally be able to connect. I have 5 Gmails connected to this currently, and I can connect another very simply by clicking on this and then telling it to text me a fresh link or confirm in my iMessage, right? And it'll basically send me a message through my text messages to connect another Gmail. Same for calendars, iCloud. You can use Outlook, Slack, GitHub, Notion, Linear, and they keep adding more. So Google Docs, Google Sheets, I have Granola connected, I have Airtable connected, I have Eden connected. So you can kind of see how easy it is to just add anything that you need in here. Now, one of the most important things as a business owner, even as a personal individual, is being able to have a financial picture at where you are day to day on your bank account, right? You can literally connect your bank here and have it let you know every morning if there's any suspicious transactions, if your balance has dropped below a certain point. Any of that is all possible right through texting with your agent. And so this is just the integrations tab. If we go home, you'll see some stuff that it knows about me, some stuff that needs to be reviewed, right? Shows the health of any connections and stuff like that. This is something I'm super excited about, Teams. So you'll see that I've shared in here with Phil. I've shared my calendar. I can share specific email or Slack. And what this means is that essentially I can give access to my agent and Phil's agent, to where if Phil needs something from me and I've given him access to a Google Drive, he can text Pally and say, hey, Pally, I know Andrew dropped a file in the drive for me this week. Did you see that file? Is that in there? And can you send me a link to it? Right? Or it can even go in and read what's in that file and leverage that. Or I can have, I can text my Pally, right? So here's my link to connect my my email that I had asked for. Whoops, let me copy this link. And now, basically what this is going to do is it's got, it's going to give me the ability to basically connect another email to it here, right? And so now that I've approved it via text message, the easier way to do this, by the way, like you see the back and forth I just had to do now from going from text to my dashboard for security purposes. You can avoid all of that by just texting Pally and telling it you want to add an email. That literally makes things so much easier. I'm just showing you like the more complex way because I'm showing you what's available in here. But we see that I've got all of these emails in here, but I'm missing a couple. So let's see, what's the most valuable one that I need to add? And I'm going to go ahead and add. Oh, I already got that one connected. So I'm going to back up here. And I'm just going to go ahead and connect this one for now. This becomes very easy. Beautiful. Next. That's not the right password. No surprise.
Andrew, can I add something here?
Yep.
Pally actually sort of encouraged me to set this up like that. It said, because I mentioned I needed to do certain things, and they said, well, we can actually set it on the Google Drive, and gave me this 3-part series so that it can directly connect.
Yeah.
Intuitive and extremely well. Well, number 2, next time you speak on technically challenged students, could you use Phil's name, please?
I can't because Phil just coded, as a member of the community. Phil has fully coded an entire CRM for the commercial real estate people of the world. So I can't call Phil technically challenged anymore.
Okay.
So Willie's taken his place, but it's all good.
Okay, I'm working on posting something for the for the residential side on an agent, and I'll have it done next class.
All right, beautiful.
And I'm on you, Phil.
That's right. Well, so you can Pally manages all of your tasks in here. I actually also, if you upgrade to their $200 a month plan, they have the ability to do calling directly through Pally as well, which is something that's pretty cool right now. If I wanted to have my Pally agent actually be able to call, I can tell my Pally agent that I wanted to call and see what's available currently for dinner to go out with my wife, call a couple places and see if it can set up some reservations for me. And it'll actually go out and do that. I can ask it to call and call a couple of my warm leads if I wanted to. Now, know that it is in beta. It is new. It's not perfect. And so, it's not something I would just automatically go and have start connecting to all of my clients or potential prospects and stuff like that. I had warned the founder the other day about some of the cold calling risks and stuff. So there will be safeguards in place to prevent that sort of thing from happening, so that this is and remains available for everybody. But the whole idea behind it, when speaking with the founder, the whole reason why he wanted the ability to call in there was more to save you time and be able to call ahead for places, to call around and check on things for you, to follow up with things for you, that sort of thing. So all of this, yeah.
So I'm using a product called callvaultai.com.
Yeah.
And this software allows me to access every single Fathom, Zoom, Claude, everything I'm recording. It puts it in one spot. Allows me to transcribe everything. If I wanted to connect Pally to that, is that in place? Could I do that or no?
To a third party. You put it through the Google Drive, maybe.
So, hey, Pally, do you have access to my call vault yet? For context, the connection for call vault is mcp.callvaultai.com. Now, with complete transparency, thank you for the plug, Phil. Call Vault is my software, and the ability to connect to it should be live. It is also in beta, so I need to see if it's going to be able to connect to it and actually leverage it or not. What it should do is basically send me a link right now that will allow me to approve it. I had previously tried to do this and it didn't work initially, so I'm curious if this is going to work. Also, this might actually mess it up here if it's sent it as a link. It may not be able to see this initially, so that's just something that's kind of a little bit of a quirk. But yeah, essentially you should be able to access all of your calls, all your transcripts and everything right directly through that MCP connection. That was one of the biggest reasons why I wanted this custom connection here. So we'll see if Pally gets back to us here shortly. But you can see here's the response regarding some of the ads that we have live, right? There's a couple that are unprofitable, etc. Gmail's connected. It's letting me know that that's now connected as well. And I haven't done a whole lot with this yet, but you can set up skills within Pally, which is really kind of cool. You can also set up automations inside of here. You can see there's some automations that are already in place. These, by the way, I didn't tell it to do really. I told it to do a couple of these. Most of these, it's actually done on its own, and so I didn't even have to tell it to do this stuff. So here's referrals, right? So it's showing the people that I've referred. Billing shows you how their billing works. Again, this is free. If you only have essentially 3 connections, it's entirely free. And then if you want to take advantage of getting a free month of this, if you leverage my link, which is going to be aisimple.co/assistant, it could not be any easier. It literally sends you to aisimple.co/assistant. You land on this page, use your phone because it's easiest using your phone to do this. You click this button and it literally sends the text message and everything for you to this number. And then it just sends my referral link. And then Pally automatically launches and gives you a free month without even asking for a card or anything like that. And so,
Andrew, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
I've been holding off. You mentioned earlier that there's going to be more people that are more technical versus others. And so I have some systems in place where I haven't pulled a trigger on it yet, but I am going to this weekend. I was curious from your experience, what channels have you seen the most value versus maybe others?
So essentially, what's the outcome that this has helped achieve for me most? Do you think is what you're getting at?
Yeah, based on channel. So if somebody was going to go with a free option and were
Yes. Okay.
only to connect with three, which three would you say to definitely include?
Yeah, great question. So for the individual that wants to set this up for free, number one, use the link and take advantage of the pro version, where you can connect as much as you want and see if it helps you. At the end of that, to be able to retain access for free, you don't have to do anything special. It will automatically downgrade you to free. And then the 3 connections that I feel would be most valuable for most people are going to be connecting your primary email. If you use Slack, you may want to use that. But it's primary email. For me, it's primary email, your calendar, and your Google Drive. But that may vary for some of you. And honestly, like, have a conversation with Pally. Like, I want to remain on your free version. And I want to know, like, for me specifically, what would be the top 3, most valuable connections for me to have? Ask me some questions that would help you to better answer that, right? And it will literally, just like any AI, it'll come up with the best options and best questions to ask you, and then it'll ask you those through text. And then when you're done with answering the questions, it'll make a recommendation for you. So, great question. And then the other thing I just want to mention, because I know that there's going to be a lot of people like you, Daniel, that number one, going to, or I'm going to sometime later, whatever, almost never happens for most people. So in my experience, the best thing to do is literally take your phone out right now and just send a text message to, or go to your browser and put in aisimple.co/assistant and click the button. Because it literally it's a text message. It could not be any easier. But the only easier thing to do is to forget about it by not doing it. So, and if you are the technical person that's already set up a whole bunch of this is only going to empower your stack more. You're going to find easier ways to connect to all of your shit than what you ever had to before. Now, instead of coding an entire connection, it's just, hey, Pally, add this MCP. I'm already planning to kind of take this to the next level by giving Pally access to the MCP that accesses my entire second brain, so that it always has always on access to everything in my second brain. So it's like this all becomes super, super easy when it's as simple as a text, right? And by the way, I don't have any affiliation with Pally. It's something really super cool that I stumbled across, and knew that more founders would be able to leverage it. I used to charge people, anywhere from 6 to 10 grand to set up an agent like this. And every one of them had problems where, founders don't want to live in a terminal. Founders that are running 7, 8, and 9-figure businesses don't live in a terminal. 90% of them. 90% of them spend their time on with their phone, in meetings, in running a business. They don't want to learn how to use Cloud Code. They don't want to learn how to use a terminal window. They just want to not drop the ball, to have all of their tasks clear, to be able to access their email or their text or whatever when they need it. When there's something that doesn't require their attention, they don't want somebody bothering them with it. And when something does need their attention, they want to know about it. And that's something that I think Pally does exceptionally well, that most setups like this either don't or need to be really well programmed to make them work that way. And so that's why I've been so passionate about sharing this with as many people as possible. If you, full transparency, like, because I've done a lot of testing, the founder gave me access to a higher level plan than what I had originally. I was still promoting the hell out of this before that happened. And even after that happened, if enough of you know me to know that, like, if anything happens to where I'm not 100% satisfied, you're all going to be the first to know. So far, I've had very few instances of it doing anything other than being freaking incredible. So that's just my 2 cents on it. But
you kind of touched on something that I wanted to follow up on, because you are a pioneer in terms of not only exploring the latest and greatest technology that's available to us now, but you've had that experience in history. So I was curious if you could also give some context in terms of some of the things that you have tried to accomplish on your own, where Pally now can do it easily without you having to do the heavy lifting on the back end of it. You kind of alluded to it in terms of some of the clients that you've onboarded with different technology that were available 2 months ago, 3 months ago, whatever.
I've tried them all. I've been trying them all since before they were even popular, right? Like, we talked about Hermes back in, like, I don't know, October of last year, I think it was. Like, we talked about, OpenClaw when it literally first came out, and it was Claude bot, Molt bot, all that nonsense, right? I've tried all of these. At one point, I was thinking that it was so powerful and confident that I did sell it as a managed service, as setting it up for people. Every single one of those people I've either refunded or given a different outcome to, because it was so difficult. OpenClaw is coming out with 1,000 updates every day. Hermes is 12 updates every day. And it's not just updates, it's stuff that breaks. It's the actual time that you have to spend in a terminal figuring this stuff out, and the amount of setup time that it takes. It is a months-long process. It's, even with the best tools, even with all the subscriptions and all the nonsense you need to make it happen, it takes a long ass time to do. And so, that would be something where, honestly, like, it's just not worth the time. And if you were going to put in the time, 6 months ago would have been the time to do it. But right now, you would be far better off, like, doing something better with your time, right? You got to look at this like, this is like the 70s and 80s with computers, right? Like, there were all these different computers and all these different companies that were trying to figure out computers, right? You had IBM, and you had Microsoft, and you had Commodore 64 and Atari, and there were dozens of them. There were even hundreds more that you never knew about. And then there were Microsoft and Apple, right? Like, and that was it in terms of OS, right? Like operating systems, whatever. And it's like, then you did have some of these other companies that really, like, came out of that. And it's the same type of thing now with like cell phones and stuff like that, right? It was the same sort of thing. When those first came out, you had Nokia and Motorola and LG and BlackBerry and Apple and all these different things, right? You had Android, and then there were other ones that have tried to do their own versions of OSs, and for the most part, it's Apple or Android. And then there's a handful of them that you still have Motorola, Nokia, no clue what happened to them. Crackberry's gone, like, and so like there's all these millions of little startups that are going to try to do this stuff, and so it's like, the biggest companies didn't start out big, but they started out early, and if you're not early to the game of like doing agents for people, I believe that we're coming up on a point where we're starting to see these agents that have been productized, that have figured it out. And at the end of the day, it's why, like for Call Vault, I yanked out all the AI. There's no sense in me trying to run an LLM or a high-end AI system. Most founders have a chat GPT subscription or a Claude subscription, and they want to be able to use your stuff inside of that subscription. They don't want to have to use their AI by going to your site and then logging in and using your AI that's going to have bugs and going to take time to figure out and all that stuff. Like, yeah, there's a reason to have a basic version of like an AI there for people, I guess. And to do something like that, but to try and make a super like agent within your own thing, for most people, if you're a small team and you don't have a really, really good mechanism, something that makes you different, some sort of a differentiator, then it's going to be hard to compete, right? There's for the longest time, there were literally hundreds. Like I went and spoke in Mexico a few months ago, and I met at least 4 or 5 guys that were like, oh yeah, I'm doing managed open clause for people. And all of them now have folded, or like they put a shit ton of time into a complicated system, and they're trying to set it up for founders, and they're struggling to get people to work with them, and they will fold. Because ultimately the biggest thing to remember here is like simplicity, right? For over a year now, I have talked about, and I mentioned this to the founder of Pally. I was like, in my company, we have a standard. It's the one-click standard, right? It's like our mission is to reduce everything to a single click for any founder, for any process. And this is why Pally is so powerful, because they have made it easy. They made it simple. They don't promise to manage your entire life. They don't promise to automate your whole business. They promise that you can send it a text message, set it up, and then it will help you not forget shit, right? Like, there's no terminal window and all this stuff. It's like, just send a message and be done, right? Like that's the thing that as founders we got to remember, for our people especially, is like, how can you make it simpler, easier, and just make the outcome super clear, Hopefully that answers your question.
It did. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're like 10 minutes over on time. And do you guys have any other questions, anything before we call it?
Real quick, Andrew, I actually mentioned that this ADHD keeps me procrastinating, going all over the place. Holly actually reminds me of that several times a day. Keeps me on task, and it's made a significant difference in just the week that I've had it installed.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Willie. Like I said, I don't care if you use it or not, but it's so powerful. Like, it's made a massive difference for me. So
I can't do without it.
awesome. So great. Appreciate you guys. For those of you that are watching, appreciate you as well. One last plug that I'm going to mention: if you guys struggle with figuring out how to create content, with how to post content regularly, with how to get everything pushed out to everywhere all the time, I personally believe that Substack is a great option for that. That's why I'm live on that platform right now. Give you a little bit of context of what will happen as a result of that. After this call, I've done this in the past where I've been a guest on other podcasts, and essentially what'll happen is Substack, after the video is over, you'll go into your dashboard, and there'll be all of these like past things that you've done, right? So if I go into this one, this was the podcast I was on in March. These videos are all these clips, 36 clips, all created automatically and all posted simply right from here. I can download and post these super easy. All of these.
Share your screen, Andrew.
I'm not sure. Oh, I'm sharing my screen with the Substackers, but not you guys. I'm sorry. Hard to remember all this nonsense. Okay. So yeah, so inside of Substack. By the way, if you guys aren't subscribed to my Substack yet, I would love if you would follow me there, subscribe. I try to share and do as much as I can there to help people. But this is essentially. Hey, look at that. Okay, so the inside of Substack here, it makes it super easy for you to be able to post anything that you need to chop stuff up, all that stuff. So if I go into my content here and I go down, like this was the last one that I did with somebody else that was a video. And so I can go in here and actually be able to see all these different videos and stuff that were just automatically created from that. And I can post them directly to YouTube. I can download and upload them to Instagram. You can share posts and stuff like that. They make all of this just so easy to do. And that's really why I'm a big proponent of using Substack lately. And so I would encourage you guys to do the same thing. And there's a couple other tools I'll share with you guys eventually. Probably within the next couple of weeks, I'll be talking about the tool that I actually use to help me write a lot of these things, because that has also been a game changer for me. And so I would encourage you guys to, come back and we'll hit that stuff. For those of you that are not in my community currently, subscribe on Substack. My intention is to start doing these every Friday on Substack as a live. I currently am managing this through Zoom and through Substack. My intention is to eventually move this directly over to and host it wholly on Substack. This was my first time going live on here, so I wanted to nail all this stuff down first. But ultimately, this is where I'm going to most likely be holding and hosting everything, because once this is done, I can chop this up in seconds and be able to literally post anything. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and for all the people that are in the paid community, I'm going to end the call here for the free people and everybody watching from around the world and all the people at home. I'm sure there's like 5 of them. I'm going to go ahead and end the Hinges portion of this that is on Substack. And then I'm going to break down a couple of other things just for the paid members. So thanks for those of you that have stuck around and watched this far. One last reminder, if you haven't done it, open your phone right now, go to your browser and input aisimple.co/assistant. aisimple.co/assistant. Click the button, text Pally. I promise you won't regret it. And I'll see you guys next week. Appreciate you guys. All right. So now you can see here where